Oh, hi there, everyone. Welcome back to English with Catherine. I hope you're having a wonderful week and you're looking forward to the weekend. Today, I've got a really cool video for you. I have been doing some work in London. I go every couple of weeks, I go to an office in London, in central London, and I do some voice work for them. They messaged me and they said they liked my voice, which is very nice. And I record my voice for their projects. And this is a very typical office. There's quite a lot of companies all operating under the same roof. So there's a lot of buzz and people talking, and there's a lot of opportunity for me to sneakily listen to their conversation and make notes on their English. So you'll notice this is business English. And business English is really all about efficiency, talking about predictions, goals, business aspirations, and motivational language. A lot of it is about timeframes and when they're going to do something, when they're going to discuss something further, the potential for ideas for the future. Of course, business English is daily English, really, because you're communicating normally with people. But there are some expressions that you really need to know in order to do business really smoothly, and also in order to understand people that you're working with. Are you ready? You're going to hear some really cool business English today. Let's get started. Zoe is her name. Okay, lovely, lovely woman. She always wears immaculate grey trouser suits and she just looks so professional, and she's quite vocal, so she likes to talk a lot and communicate. She's very sort of verbal, and I just thought, oh my gosh, she is perfect. I can hear her really clearly, and I managed to write down 3 really, really great expressions that she used. So I'm going to tell you what they are. Yeah, we really need to get the ball rolling on that one. To get the ball rolling, like what I was saying in the introduction to this video, business English is all about getting going with a project, being efficient, motivation, starting something, okay? So to get the ball rolling on something is to make the steps to get a project started, okay? So it might be the initial phases of a project or a business idea, but it's important to start, to actually begin. So that's what that expression means. And Zoe is a very motivated person. You can tell she's very ambitious, she's very driven, and she kind of motivates everyone around her just with her energy, I noticed. And I think we can all learn from Zoe. So this next one is when she was having a chat with someone in the office. And I'll tell you what they said. Yeah, I'm expecting a call from Jonathan this evening about that. Okay, keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop. Do you know what that means? So when you say keep me in the loop as a response, okay, this is a really good response to something. That means keep me involved. Let me know the feedback. Let me know the outcome to what you are going to do. So it's a really nice way to stay involved in the business. Make sure you're not left out of any of the details, okay? It's just a really nice thing to say as a response when someone is telling you what's happening. This next one is about finances, okay? So statistics and figures, which is definitely not my thing, and I'm very bad at anything to do with maths. But she used a really great expression. So the bottom line is, it's going to cost about 20k with all the bells and whistles. Actually, we've got a lot here. We've got the bottom line is. The bottom line is. That means the most important thing is. Overall, this is what we need to focus on. The bottom line. So here, the cost, is really important, really. You've got to be careful of the overall cost of something. That's going to be the bottom line in your conversation if that's the most important thing that needs addressing. All the bells and whistles means all the extras. So everything involved, when it's all added up, comes to 20k, which is 20,000. That's slang for 20,000. So we're moving on to Steve now. Lovely Steve. He always wears a waistcoat. So smart, just like Zoe. And he has this incredible slicked back hair that looks like it takes hours to do. But it's like every hair is perfect. Slicked back. I think we're on the same page here. This is important. To be on the same page as someone means you agree on something. You are aligned with how you're thinking about something, how you're feeling about something. So it's a really nice expression to unite two people on their idea. They agree on something. Brilliant. It's always good to recognize that in business. Oh yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah, we really understand each other. This is gonna go really well. It's always good to keep the enthusiasm up. In a British office, it's all about enthusiasm and motivation and, keeping the morale very high. So these kinds of expressions just help with the kind of positive energy in the room. Yeah, Tom and Simon really aren't seeing eye to eye on this. Tom and Simon really aren't seeing eye to eye on this. Eye to eye, eye to eye. Okay, this is the opposite of being on the same page in this example. So he's using it negatively. They're not seeing eye to eye. That means they don't agree. They are not aligned with how they feel, which is just as important to make a comment about because, that is a really polite, nice way to say something a little bit negative and it needs to be said. You can also say they clash on something, meaning they just don't match with their ideas, they don't agree. Right, so it's back to the drawing board then on that one. What a shame. Right, so it's back to the drawing board on that one. What a shame. Okay, so Steve is a little bit annoyed here. He was a bit disappointed. He didn't really show it because he's very controlled and very calm, but you could tell he was a bit upset about this particular thing. Back to the drawing board means back to the beginning. They haven't managed to get to where they've needed to get to, and they've had to just start again because maybe they don't agree or something hasn't worked out, but it's back to the drawing board. We can also say back to square one. That's another expression that means the same thing. Don't forget, what a shame is not the extreme meaning that you think it is. I know in some languages, shame is a really strong word. Well, it used to be in English, but now we say, what a shame means, what a pity. Oh, that's really disappointing. Okay, it's not super, super strong. I just used the word super. By the way, super is very used in British English these days. It's come over from America. It's a really great way to exaggerate if you need to. I have to say I'm not the biggest fan of the word, but I'm finding that I'm using it more and more. So I think I just have to accept that it's in my vocabulary. So the next part of this video features the coffee machine. And of course, this is a real kind of meeting point for people who are, struggling with what they're doing and they just need a breather. They need to just get up and walk around and get a coffee and just, clear their mind a little bit. But invariably, what tends to happen is people get into conversations by the coffee machine about business. I'm sure you know this happens. And I managed to pick up on quite a few business English expressions just in their conversation by the coffee machine. Yeah, I need to touch base with Sophie on that. I need to touch base with Sophie on that. To touch base, this is a great one. I think it's American, but we use it a lot in British English these days. To touch base is just to catch up with someone. So just kind of check in. I know I'm giving you so much English right now, but we kind of use it just to, have a little meeting with someone and just check on the update of a situation, how things are going, and really just make contact with someone about business. I think there's a lot of scope for branching out on this. I love this word, scope. Okay, so it means potential for something. And I think it comes from telescope. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you're looking through a telescope, you're looking at the stars and you're looking at all the potential of the world. So that's the meaning that I've told myself that it comes from, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll put it in the description box. So if you say there's scope for something, that means there's potential. It could actually happen. It's realistic. There's scope for branching out. Now, what does branching out mean? If you branch out, imagine a tree growing, or the branches of the tree growing. It means you are developing, you're progressing, you're growing. So what she's saying here is that there's scope, there's potential for growth. So there's definitely a reason to get excited about that project. Yeah, I need to get on that ASAP. I need to get on that ASAP. Now, when we say this really fast, it's not get on that. I have to be honest here. It's get on that. The T kind of turns into a D because don't forget the aim of business English is for speed and efficiency. So if you ever work in an office with natives or work with natives, probably what you're struggling with is the speed in how they say this. It's very quick. Okay, so T's turn into D's, everything gets blended together. So I probably need to make a video just on the pronunciation of these expressions. So get on that means get started with that, get stuck into that. Okay, make some progress, take action on something. And ASAP is what we say instead of ASAP. So that is called an acronym. ASAP is an acronym, and an acronym is when each letter stands for a word. So ASAP means, I'm sure you know, as soon as possible. But what's happened over the years is we've started to say ASAP. Don't ask me why. It's just kind of a habit that started. Someone must have started it. Whoever it was, genius. It's great. I love it. I'm going to do that ASAP. ASAP is kind of satisfying to say. As soon as possible just takes too long to say, right? And even ASAP seemed to take too long. So ASAP is so quick, so good. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Hopefully you found it useful, especially if you work with natives or if you're going to relocate to the UK. This could be very useful. And as I said, this English is general, okay? So it's not specific to any kind of industry. It's in every single business that you can find. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video. Click subscribe if you'd be so kind, because it really helps my channel. And yeah, have a lovely weekend. I hope you have a wonderful time. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye!